Board of Commissioners. Today is October 31st, 2023. Is tonight Baker's night?
Yes.
Is tonight's Baker's night? Okay. Everyone have their candy and ready? Anybody dressing up today? No? Okay, all right, thank you. You're all normal, okay. Oh, we're dressed up now. We're dressed up as public servants. All right. I don't know what's wrong with me today. All right, so today we'll begin general session. Today is October 31st, 2023. As a reminder, this is a public meeting and is being recorded. Please ensure that your line is muted. For those who calling in, thank you so much for your cooperation. We'll begin today with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner Crawley.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, let's begin with Resolution 820-2003. We have a guest with us today, Lillian Howard. Oh, I'm sorry, you're supposed to read the resolution.
That's correct.
I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm feeling. I had this pre-workout stuff this morning, and I think maybe that I'm just hyper. I don't know.
You're just ready to get business done.
Everybody stand up and do jumping jacks. I'm just kidding. Okay.
Resolution number 82023. Resolution authorizing Choices for Victims of Domestic Violence Incorporated to receive the fees collected in 2024 for the support of shelters for victims of domestic violence.
Good morning, Commissioners. Zach Telerik with the Office of Management and Budget. This resolution would authorize Choices for Victims of Domestic Violence to receive the $17 fee per marriage license issued and $32 fee for each action or proceeding for annulment, divorce, or dissolution of marriage that is collected in 2024 to provide financial assistance for domestic violence shelters. Choices, which operates one of the oldest and largest domestic violence shelters in the state of Ohio, provides comprehensive shelter services 365 days a year. These services include a 24-hour crisis, information and referral hotline, youth programming, consultation services, out-client services, and transitional services. With us today virtually is Lillian Howard, Director of Clinical and Supportive Services for Choices, to say a few words.
Good morning to you all, and thank you for inviting Choices today, and thank you for recognizing us and the work that we do. We appreciate the funding that you all provide to us through the marriage licensing, and we are currently wrapping up this month, which has been Domestic Violence Awareness Month. I just want to say thank you to all that have recognized us during this month and the services that we do. Every day, Choices is here to provide shelter, safety planning, counseling, education, and support to women, children, and men who are victims of domestic violence. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Lillian. Commissioner Crawley, do you want to make some comments? I'm going to make some too.
Oh, go ahead.
I'll go after you.
Thank you, Commissioner Boyce. Thank you, Ms. Howard, for being here today, and thank you for all that you all do on behalf of survivors of domestic violence. We know that, especially this year, deaths or homicides due to domestic violence or intimate partner violence is up from over last year. And so the state has made some progress as it relates to protective orders. Congresswoman Amelia Sykes, formerly State Rep Amelia Sykes, passed House Bill 1 that granted more protections. My former colleague, State Rep, Janine Boyd, now Cleveland Heights City Councilwoman Janine Boyd, also had Aisha's Law. It has not made it all the way over the finish line, but did pass the House a couple of years ago that increased the lethality when it comes to intimate partner violence. As one of her sorors was murdered by a former state rep. And so we understand the issues that surround individuals who find themselves in situations where they are, survivors of domestic violence or victims. And so earlier last week, I held a press conference with Rachel and the mayor and council member Remy, as well as Kenny McDonald from the partnership to talk about the funding that the mayor is providing and city council to Choices. The county has provided more than $1 million over the last 2 years with funding from the license fees like we talked about today, but also to expand on their shelter for furnishings and the construction, and we'll continue to support this work. But I would like for everyone to just realize that, when people come forward and share their story, like a woman did last week, it takes a lot of courage. She was in a marriage for 33 years and finally left, and she felt like, she was subject to judgment on why she would stay that long. You have no idea what people face in these situations and why they can't leave. Sometimes if they leave, they find themselves unhoused. They have children that they have to protect. And so instead of passing judgment, I hope that we can have more compassion and empathy for individuals who find themselves in situations, and it's not just women, men find themselves in situations as well. And so I appreciate my colleagues for the continued support around survivors of domestic violence, but also those who find themselves victims of domestic violence, and continuing to advocate for more laws, stricter laws, even when it comes to gun violence. A lot of deaths and intimate partner violence are due to handguns. And so there is work that we can continue to do around protecting those and making sure that people who should not have guns do not have them. And that's red flag laws that we can work on, as well as those who have mental health conditions. So anyways, I want to just say thank you, Ms. Howard. Thank you to Choices for all that you do. I know I was stumbling through that. I'm a little nervous when it comes to this. And so, pass it back over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Commissioner Crawley. Well said. I would just add a couple thoughts. And I've shared this story with folks before, so it's not anything secret. First, let me just acknowledge that the vast majority of victims in domestic violence are women, and that unfortunately is a sad statistic that we'll have to live with. But as Commissioner Crawley indicated, victims come in all shapes and sizes and come in all sexes. That means male, female, children, so forth. For me, I've shared the story before that my father was murdered in a domestic violence scenario, situation where a female relative of his was getting attacked by her boyfriend. My father was called to assist and help her get to safety, and he murdered both of them, his cousin and him, and he tried to kill the children that were in the car with them that day, that he was trying to get to safety. And I say that because while certainly my father and my Aunt Jackie were murdered that day, the kids that they left behind are affected for a lifetime and have to live a lifetime from the impact of seeing domestic violence, and it affects and shapes their lives in different ways. I know for a fact, too, that I think most people have seen or been around some form of domestic violence. Commissioner Crawley touched on it when she talked about mental abuse and sometimes being in a relationship that might be embarrassing for some, or there are aspects of, I learned when I was in the legislature, and as Commissioner Crawley indicated, my Congresswoman Sykes, who is my spouse now, she worked on that legislation. But I also remember going through those hearings, and I remember early on how they talked about animal abuse, how animals would be used sometimes as a threat in domestic violence. And so my point for saying that is that like if someone had a pet, and that they would hold the pet hostage or do things to the pet as a way to get at the other victim. And my point for sharing that is that, if you see something, say something. Try to be there and understand. And it's not about judgment, as Commissioner Crawley indicated. It's really about what you do to support that person. And remember that sometimes the victims have to live a lifetime from the scars of that scenario of abuse. I feel like I'm a victim of that having that happen to my father. It shaped and affected my life 100% in every way. There's not a day that goes by that is not affected by that one day that changed my own life forever. And so I think about it, and when I think about the application of these funds, I truly can't think of something that we do that really is as a frontline investment in saving lives and shaping lives than these funds. And so to the folks at Choices and what you do, thank you. Thank you on behalf of my family. Thank you on behalf of myself, and thank you on behalf of Franklin County. And I know we're going to pass this resolution in a second, but Lillian, since you're not here, we'll make sure that the resolution is delivered to you so that you can let others know that Franklin County stands with them in our fight to prevent and address domestic violence.
Before I make a motion to pass the resolution, Lillian, if you're still on, can you give the number for individuals who may be online or in the audience so they can pass on to someone who may find themselves in a situation and need support and resources from you all?
Sure. We have staff that cover our phones 24/7, 365 days a year. The number is 614-224-4663. Again, the number is 614-224-4663. Staff are there to provide education, safety planning, and discuss resources, and if necessary, to bring them into our services to protect them. Thank you.
Thank you. If there are no additional comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 820-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 820-23 has been adopted.
Thank you. Engineer?
Resolution number 821-23, establishing, altering, and widening of Cleveland Avenue, County Road number 75, commencing at Oakland Park Avenue, County Road number 322, and continuing approximately 1,000 feet northerly along Cleveland Avenue, Clinton Township, Franklin County, Ohio, declared necessary.
Good morning, Commissioners. Brad Foster, along with Nick Soulis, representing the Franklin County Engineers Office. Commissioners, our first resolution seeks to declare necessary the improvement of Cleveland Avenue, commencing at Oakland Park Avenue and continuing approximately 1,000 feet northerly along Cleveland Avenue. The project is located in north central Franklin County in Clinton Township. The project seeks to implement pedestrian improvements, specifically at the intersection of Cleveland Avenue and Dundee Road, along with Cleveland Avenue and Dunbar and Piedmont. Pending any questions, I would ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 821-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 821-23 has been adopted. Resolution number 822-23, establishing, altering, and widening of Dempsey Road, County Road number 183, commencing at the intersection of Dempsey Road and Hempstead Road, Township Road number 184, and continuing approximately 1,000 feet in each direction along Dempsey Road, Blendon Township, Franklin County, Ohio, declared necessary.
Commissioners, our second resolution seeks to declare necessary the improvement of Dempsey Road, commencing at the intersection of Dempsey and Hempstead Road, and continuing approximately 1,000 feet in each direction along Dempsey Road. The project is located in northern Franklin County in Blendon Township. The project is funded by ODOT Highway Safety Improvement Program dollars and seeks to implement pedestrian improvements along the corridor and at the intersection. Pending any questions, I ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 822-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 822-23 has been adopted. Resolution number 823-23, establishing, altering, and widening of No Bixby Road, County Road number 371, commencing at Winchester Pike, County Road number 376, and continuing approximately 6,500 feet northeasterly along No Bixby Road, Madison Township, Franklin County, Ohio, declared necessary.
Commissioners, our final resolution seeks to declare necessary the improvement of No Bixby Road, commencing at Winchester Pike and continuing approximately 6,500 feet northeasterly along No Bixby Road. The project is located in southeast Franklin County in Madison Township. The project is also funded by ODOT Highway Safety Improvement Program safety dollars and seeks to implement pedestrian improvements along the corridor. Pending any questions, I ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 823-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 823-23 has been adopted.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Recorder?
Resolution number 824-23, resolution authorizing the set-aside for the Recorder's Technology Fund for calendar year 2024.
Good morning, Commissioners. We are requesting that for next year, 2024, an equal amount of $4 of the base fees collected for filing and recording a document continue to be a part of funding our technology fund. This amount represents a renewal of the same fee that was allocated for 2023. Our estimated 2024 revenues for all fees are $8.4 million. Of this total, half of that goes towards the Housing Trust Fund, with $530,000 of those fees going to our Recorder's Technology Fund. These fees estimate more than 135,000 documents that we anticipate to be recorded. We use these funds to provide funding for tech needs of our Recorder's filing program, including maintenance and support for upgrades and replacement of technological and related equipment, as a supplement to general fund allocations for the county microfilm board, as a supplement to general fund allocations for personnel that are directly related to imaging and tech equipment, and any additional funding not allocated as an expenditure we hold on to for our future tech needs. Therefore, I request that you approve and enact this proposal for the renewal of the $4 fee allocation for 2024.
Thank you. If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 824-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 824-23 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll proceed with the sheriff.
Resolution number 825-23, resolution authorizing a supplemental appropriation with the commissary fund associated with food and personal items.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Administration. Albert Smith, Assistant Finance Director for the Sheriff's Office. Our resolution authorizes a supplemental appropriation to cover increased demand for commissary food and inmate personal items purchased from our inmate funds. We're requesting the funds be allocated to our inmate commissary fund, which is used to benefit inmates in our facilities. Fund 2057 has plenty of cash to support this request. Pending any questions, I ask for your approval.
There are no comments or questions. Move for approval of Resolution 825-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 825-23 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. Next, treasurers.
Resolution number 826-23, resolution authorizing a non-general fund supplemental appropriation for the Franklin County Land Bank.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Jacqueline Treadwell, and I am the Budget and Purchasing Coordinator for the Franklin County Treasurer. The Franklin County Treasurer's Office is seeking supplemental appropriations in the amount of $256,464 from the Delinquent Tax Assessment and Collection, or DTAC Fund, to provide funding for the second half payment to the Central Ohio Community Improvement Corporation. 5% of all collections from delinquent real property, personal property, manufacture and mobile homes, taxes and assessments are collected to the DTAC Fund to be dispersed to the Central Ohio Community Improvement Corporation, or COSIC, to support the operations of the Franklin County Land Bank. These funds will provide ongoing funding to COSIC to continue the efforts towards creating and preserving affordable housing for the Franklin County residents. Barring any questions, we respectfully ask for your approval.
Thank you. If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 826-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 826-23 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, the data center.
Resolution number 827-23, resolution authorizing a 3-year enterprise enrollment for Microsoft Office 365 software in the amount of $9,107,971.81.
Good morning, Commissioners. Julie Lutz with the Data Center, and with me today is Data Center CIO Adam Frumkin. The Data Center maintains technology infrastructure for our partner agencies throughout the county. This includes Microsoft 365 software that enables communication, collaboration, and productivity functions for over 4,900 team members, server software for over 600 servers, and Microsoft security software to protect the applications and the data that they house. This resolution provides the county administrator the authority to execute paperwork associated with the new 3-year agreement for the software and the purchase order for the 2023 cost. The documentation has been reviewed and approved to form by the prosecuting attorney's office and the technology by the Automatic Data Processing Board. Pending any questions, we respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
Yeah, I have a question. Is your desk really that clean?
At all times, we're the data center, no paper, sir.
Oh, my gosh. I'm like, geez, that desk is clean. That's all the questions I have.
My desk
Thank
is that
you.
clean.
Your desk is that clean, really?
I don't have a desk, so, yeah, my desk.
Okay.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 82723.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes,
Resolution number 82723 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
thank you. All right, community partnerships.
Resolution number 82823, resolution authorizing community partnership grant agreements with 16 nonprofit community agencies in the amount of $3,704,831.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Administration. Brittany Hilliard, Community Partnership Coordinator. We have 5 resolutions for your consideration today. The first resolution will provide community partnership grants funding to 16 nonprofits in Franklin County in the amount of $3,704,831. 144 nonprofit organizations in Franklin County applied for this grant. After a review and scoring process, 16 organizations were selected to be community partnership grant recipients for 2023. Each agreement will be for 1 year with the option to extend for 2 additional years. The 16 organizations selected will provide programming that aligns with numerous goals outlined in the Franklin County Rise Together Blueprint, including increased to high-paying jobs, sustainable housing, improved physical, mental, and behavioral health, increased access to care, ensuring that all young people are on track for long-term success, and improved overall environmental conditions in neighborhoods. If there are no further questions, we respectfully request the approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 828-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes,
Resolution number 82823 has been adopted. Resolution number 82923, resolution authorizing a COVID-19 recovery grant to the Childhood League to support the center's preschool program as part of the Franklin County Rise Initiative in the amount of $300,000.
This resolution will provide COVID-19 grant funding to the Childhood League Center in the amount of $300,000 through the Franklin County Rise Initiative. The Childhood League Center's child preschool program furthers the county's core principles of supportive health and human services and supports Goals 11 of the Rise Together Blueprint. Scott Solomon, Chief Advancement Officer of the Childhood League Center, is here to answer any questions you may have.
please.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you today. Unfortunately, Ginger Young, our CEO, was under the weather and regrets that she was not able to join us today. The Childhood League Center received funding directly from the state during the last 3 bienniums. As a result of the changes in how education was funded in the fiscal 24 to 26 state budget, this funding was eliminated starting with this fiscal year. Upon learning the news in early July, Ginger began meeting with legislators across the state to explore any opportunity for funding from the state this year, as well as to begin advocating for our inclusion in the next biennium budget. Our funding comes from a diversified portfolio of sources, including corporate, foundation, individual donors, and government. Our development plan includes working with our stakeholders to increase their support and at the same time working to further diversify our funding sources. The support that we are requesting from Franklin County will enable the Childhood League Center to continue providing affordable, high-quality childcare for our community's children and families, helping them develop the necessary skills to succeed in kindergarten and beyond. At the same time, increasing our capacity to diversify and grow our other sources of funding.
Please.
Thank you. Thank you for being here, Scott. I just have one question. This is similar to a resolution we did a couple months ago for the YWCA to support their staff. And so since the funding has been cut from the budget this year, and there's no guarantee for next biennium budget, can you just talk about the sustainability since these funds will go to support employees and staff?
Sure.
Teachers?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the work that Ginger and I are doing now in meeting with the legislators from the state, trying to find money that is going to be available as part of the new Child and Youth Family Department that is opening. So we've been working with Director Wente on that. We've been working on reaching out to our major stakeholders, both individual donors and corporations, and have made some increased asks as well. And looking at how we can increase our fundraising as a whole to be able to bring in more money, not only from our existing funders, but from increasing the pipeline.
Okay. The reason why I ask, I mean, obviously, like I said, this is a similar resolution to what we did for the Y and supplementing some of their dollars for wages. And we know just across the country, not even just the state, just across the country when it comes to childcare providers, one, staffing is down, two, the wages aren't sufficient, but there is just a growing need to continue to increase wages and supplement wages for our childcare providers. And we have more than, 700 childcare centers in Franklin County alone, understanding that more than 230 closed their doors during the pandemic, or from 2020 to 2022, and we still see some providers closing their doors. And I wish we could do this for all of our providers because the need is just so great. And so that's why I'm asking about sustainability and, making sure that the one thing we wouldn't want to happen is if the county funding ran out, that you couldn't support these teachers who are providing, transformational work to our kiddos. And so thank you for answering that question. I know that partnerships will be working with you all to, try to figure out how to make sure that the funding can continue after this year. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for all that you do for our kiddos.
Thank you.
Commissioner O'Grady, can I please? Troy Bivens, Deputy County Administrator of Health and Human Services. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Just really quick, one of the things, we have a early learning administrator, and I'm gonna really jack up your title, Patrick, I apologize. But as you all are trying to stabilize your workforce and understanding what that dollar amount looks like, similar to what we've asked of the Y, could we work with you all on understanding where is the maximum amount, where are your deficits? Because as we're aligning our early learning strategies, workforce is a big component of it, and we want to gather as much data as possible so that our county commissioners can be advocates to the legislature as well. So these dollars show that there is a gap, but we need to show where's the dip off, how much money is going to be needed, because if it happens to your organization, it's going to happen to all the other it's happening to all the other organizations as well. So Patrick can make a connection with you at the end if that's possible.
That'd be great.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And I just want to make note that this is from the Franklin County Rise Child Care Initiative, not our other Rise initiative. If there are no additional comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 829-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 829-23 has been adopted. Resolution number 830-23, resolution authorizing a COVID-19 recovery grant with Big Brothers Big Sisters of Central Ohio to provide assistance for youth to attend weekend and summer camps in the amount of $329,651.
This resolution will provide COVID-19 grant funding to Big Brothers Big Sisters of Central Ohio in the amount of $329,651. Big Brothers Big Sisters of Central Ohio programming aligns with the Board of Commissioners' core principles to invest in supportive health and human services, as well as the county's goal of increasing the number of students at or near the poverty level experiencing academic success by expanding access to out-of-school education programs, such as their year-round camp, Odioqua. If there are no further questions or comments, we respectfully request the approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 830-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 830-23 has been adopted. Resolution number 831-23, Resolution authorizing a COVID-19 recovery grant with the Franklin County Agricultural Society to support improvements at the county fairgrounds in the amount of $999,700.
This resolution will provide COVID-19 grant funding to Franklin County Agricultural Society in the amount of $999,700. Franklin County Agricultural Society proposal meets goals 11, 12, and 13 of the Rise Together Blueprint. The society's goals is to ensure that Franklin County Fairgrounds is a place for all through their capital improvements, including renovations to the restrooms to update their ADA compliance. If there are no further questions or comments, we respectfully request approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 831-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 831-23 has been adopted. Resolution number 832-23, resolution authorizing a COVID-19 recovery grant with Mid-Ohio Food Collective for emergency food assistance in the amount of $500,000.
Our final resolution will provide a COVID-19 grant to Mid-Ohio Food Collective for $500,000 for emergency food assistance. The Mid-Ohio Food Collective programming aligns with goals 8, 9, and 10 of the Rise Together Blueprint. The Mid-Ohio Food Collective requests this funding to support their food acquisition and distribution initiative in Franklin County. If there are no further questions or comments, we respectfully request the approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 832-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 832-23 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
The Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion.
Resolution number 833-23, resolution authorizing a contract agreement with Clarity Solutions Group, LLC for consulting services for the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, Data Strategy, and Framework in the amount of $96,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. D'Amica Withers, Chief Economic Equity and Inclusion Officer in the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. Clarity Solutions Group, LLC exists to improve the quality of service delivered and outcomes achieved within the public human service systems in order to reduce disparities, improve and integrate services, and design solutions. This resolution will authorize a contract agreement with Clarity Solutions Group, LLC for consulting services to assist with creating a framework for DEI data measurement and evaluation. Clarity Solutions will assist in identifying the available and appropriate tools to utilize for the data collection and evaluation. Clarity Solutions Group will work in partnership with DEI, the Enterprise Business Relationship Manager of the Franklin County Data Center, and other internal IT supports to help develop dashboards, inform on technical infrastructure, and advise on hiring of the equity data analysts. The contract with Clarity Solutions Group will support the implementation phase of the Racial Equity Council recommendations and the economic equity goals by delivering strategic insights, best practices, and guidance for the best way to operationalize diversity, equity, and inclusion, and accessibility. Pending any questions, I respectfully request your approval on this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 833-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 833-23 has been adopted. Resolution number 834-23, resolution authorizing a grant agreement with Columbus Urban League for support of the Minority Business Access Center in the amount of $75,000.
Commissioners, Columbus Urban League's mission is to empower African Americans and disenfranchised groups through economic, educational, and social progress supports small and emerging businesses in Franklin County, Ohio, through its Minority Business Access Center. This resolution authorizes a grant with Columbus Urban League for the support of the Minority Business Access Center. This agreement will support the continued partnership between DEI and Minority Business Access Center for engagement of small and emerging business enterprises, assist SCBEs in obtaining their business certification, and partner with ODEI to facilitate seminars on various topics, bringing education and awareness to small and emerging businesses. This resolution supports the Rise Together Poverty Blueprint Goal number 1, increasing employers' engagement in neighborhoods of concentrated poverty through creation of living wage and high-paying jobs for residents. Janine Hooks, Vice President of Programming at Columbus Urban League, and Andrea Wilkes, Regional Director of Minority Business Access Center, is virtually attending if there are any questions you may have.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 834-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Abstain.
Resolution number 834-23 has been adopted with Commissioner Boyce's noted abstention. Resolution number 835-23, resolution authorizing a grant agreement with Buckeye Entertainment for rental of the claw equipment to be used for small emerging business outreach for the first Franklin County Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Conference in the amount of $900.
Commissioners and County Administration, the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion is hosting its first Franklin County Commissioners Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Conference, Engage, Discover, Ignite, Organizing Our Collective Power, on Thursday, November 9th from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Hyatt Regency downtown Columbus. The conference is designed for all who are looking to learn about best practices in DEI strategy, collaboration, and education. The conference will have 4 pathways, which will focus on economic equity, workforce development, effective collaboration, and driving policy and using data. These intentional workshops will explore best practices and engaging conversations while continuously centering DEI. This will be interactive and actionable so participants can leverage and implement diversity, equity, and inclusion in a practical way in their organization. This event will be a catalyst for creating a more diverse, equitable, inclusive world of work. In collaboration with community partners and organizations, we will help shape workplace policies, provide ongoing support for small and emerging businesses, unleash pools of talent, and champion DEI and cultivate better workplace cultures. This resolution will support the Connect and Ignite reception at the DEI conference. The reception will occur the last hour of the conference to encourage networking, information sharing, and a marketplace for vendors and community resource. Buckeye Entertainment, a women-owned business, will provide an outreach tool to support and amplify small and emerging business products and services for businesses in Franklin County, which some will also include small and emerging businesses that are present at the conference. Some of the products and services that are being provided through this tool for small and emerging businesses are books, coaching sessions, leadership tools, website creation, and advertisement, in which attendees will have the opportunity to capture from this tool. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
There are no comments or questions. Move for approval of Resolution 835-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 835-23 has been adopted. Resolution number 836-23, resolution authorizing a grant agreement with Orbit 360 Photo Booth for rental of a 360 photo booth to be utilized during the Connect and Ignite reception during the Franklin County Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Conference in the amount of $200.
This resolution will approve a grant agreement with Orbit 360, a Black-owned business, for the rental of a photo booth to be utilized as a connection activity during the Connect and Ignite reception of the DEI conference. And I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
There are no comments or questions. Move for approval of Resolution 836-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 836-23 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Fleet management.
Resolution number 837-23, resolution authorizing the 2024 vehicle commitment with Byers Ford LLC.
Good morning, Commissioners. It's nice to see everybody in person. Charlotte Ashcraft, Director of Fleet Management. This resolution is for a commitment to purchase our planned 2024 vehicles. We have an existing contract for new vehicles with Byers Ford LLC. Buyers need to be prepared to order the vehicles as soon as the manufacturers open the windows. That's expected to be early November. Vehicle ordering has drastically changed since COVID-19. Prior to that, we placed our orders in February, the cars showed up in September, and all went well. Now, our orders are in November. We basically get them in September of the following year. So we have to plan much more in advance than we used to. This is because of all of the issues that occurred during COVID-19, material supplies, parts supplies, factory build capacities, as many other factors. This has disturbed our timing and our flow, so we need to adjust. In 2024, the manufacturers are attempting to finish up the 2023 backlog, set production capacities for the next model year of 25, and take orders within those capacities and finally get back in sync. For us to order our needed vehicles for 2024, we need a purchase order or a letter of commitment to provide to Byers Ford so when the windows open, they can order our vehicles. Purchase orders will be obtained as soon as possible in 2024, and the vehicles are not expected to be delivered until fall of 2024. Pending any questions, I respectfully request passage.
President O'Grady, I do have a question.
Please.
Thank you. Electric cars, are we
Yes.
gonna get any full electric cars? And are we gonna, as you know, all the manufacturers have indicated they're going all electric by 2030, I think. There is a substantial infrastructure investment by the federal government. And just, I think, having some inventory around fully electric cars might be valuable, especially given some of the circumstances in other parts of the world. So just, are we gonna get any fully electric cars, get some stations set up and it's just better fuel-wise and clean?
Correct. We always look to buy electric or hybrid. That's first and foremost, unless the application does not have a vehicle available. One example to that is we don't yet have a transport van available in electric or hybrid. We're waiting. They said it would be 24. I think it's now going to be more like 25. That's always the first thing on our list, and we only go past that if there's nothing available. When
You say transport, what do you mean? What do you-
transport van, convey unit for the sheriff's office.
Okay.
Transports all over the state, and we're looking to get them 3 new ones this year. We haven't actually been able to get them a replacement in 3 years because they're just not the vans are not available.
Mhm.
So.
Commissioner Boyce isn't a working man, so he's not sure what a transport van is.
Oh.
Oh, I mean, it could be a lot of things, sir. I thought I had a sense of it, but the reason why I really asked is because I've seen them, though. When you said they're not available, you mean that the manufacturer doesn't have any available, or?
They make a cargo van
Mhm.
and an electric, but not a passenger van yet.
Mhm.
And we need the larger ones, the 15 passengers, and they're not to that point yet. But we're watching.
Yeah, I feel like I saw, we were at, what conference were we at? And they had a whole section of electric vehicles and I thought there was one there by one of the manufacturers, but something for the county. Anyways, I definitely want to encourage the purchase of electric vehicles. Again, we don't want to be behind. We are, I would say, the leader of Ohio in terms of as counties go, and we want to stay in that area. And do we have the infrastructure in terms of charging stations? Do we have any electric vehicles?
Yes, we have 2
How-
all-electric, we have 44 hybrid, 27 of them are plug-in. So we have just enough chargers for the number of vehicles that we have.
We've been going down this road for a bit.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I haven't seen any. I haven't seen any of the electric cars.
Yeah, so
yeah.
we have,
They've been busy painting your name on the side of them.
see,
What are you talking about, man? What are you talking about?
yeah, we have charging stations in both parking garages, in the surface lot that the sheriff's office uses, and also at the Coroner's Forensic Science Center.
We gonna get one in our parking
I
garage?
was going to say that.
I'll talk to PFM about that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so.
I mean, again, I hear what Commissioner O'Grady is saying. And maybe I am not as in tune with the fleet, but I feel like I've raised this a couple times, but I've never yet seen an electric vehicle yet. And I think I've asked for one in the pool or something, but we just haven't had them. But I'm a big believer in the electric vehicle. I'm an electric vehicle owner myself, and I'm also very engaged with what's happening at the federal level, the national level around electric vehicle movement. Particularly with the car manufacturers who are all, coming off strike, but then a big part of their package and that infrastructure is all electric direction. And so I just want to make sure that Franklin County is headed in that direction too.
We do have a sedan in the pool, and we have a Ford F-150 Lightning, which is all electric, which we just assigned to the data center. So check with Mr. Frumpkin and see if he'll let you take a ride.
We want our own, darn it, in the commissioner's pool.
Yep, and there's one of them on this list.
Okay. Oh, I didn't. I looked. I didn't see one on the list. Okay.
Yep.
No, that's what I was getting ready to ask. Thank you, President O'Grady, to follow up on Commissioner Boyce, because I'm looking at the list. I think this is the list where it says 30 police package hybrid cruisers, 3 K9 hybrid cruisers. And so I see hybrid. all throughout here, but I didn't see anything like fully electric. So my question is a clarifying question. Off of what Commissioner Boyce was asking, is there a way, or is it written where if there is an all-electric vehicle available, that would be the priority and then default to a hybrid? Is there a way to have that written in the language, or is it already written in the language?
That's already our practice. I know we can purchase a hybrid, but I don't know that we can get an electric in it. So that's why I worded it that way. But we always go to electric first.
Okay, because I mean, how I see it, how it's written is 6 hybrid. So it, maybe I need to look at the supplemental. Well, I don't have, no, it's the next resolution. Yeah, I was trying to see some supplemental documentation, but it's not here. So yeah, that's how I read it. Like if it's just saying 6 hybrid SUVs for various sheriff's office divisions, that it would be hybrid. That doesn't tell me that the preference is, or the priority is, electric. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Just how it's written. Okay.
Fleet's selection is always electric because that's the commissioner's rule and that's our guideline. But they've been difficult to obtain. I've been trying to find one specific one for almost a year now. But because of the manufacturer issues, I couldn't get one ordered. So that's always our first line. But I know we can get a hybrid. So that's why when I did the resolution, I put hybrid because I thought if I put electric and they're not available, then I can't buy them.
Then you can't buy it.
So.
Okay.
Administrator Wilson?
Thank you, President O'Grady. Kenneth Wilson, County Administrator. I will provide a preview of a 2024 budget recommendation that'll come from the County Administrator's message. I have requested of the Office of Management Budget and Charlotte, our Fleet Management Director, that a Commissioner electric pool vehicle be added to the fleet, subject to us looking all the places that we need to look to make that happen. So we are proceeding forward. Director Ashcraft will tell you that we delayed some available purchases because of the feedback that we received from this board to not look to add gasoline-powered vehicles to our fleet. I believe it was 17 vehicles that we didn't act upon that was approved in this budget because there was a lack of availability for even hybrid vehicles. So the administration is taking all steps possible to move away as manufacturers make available electric vehicles. We are going to move as expeditiously as possible in that direction.
May I? And this is a little sidebar, but not really. So I know we are, in our Sally Ports, we don't have any charging stations, as Commissioner Boyce was referencing, but I know we are getting ready to build a new child care center that will have a Sally Port, or at least that's the thought that it would. And so Deputy County Administrator Long, if we could, as we are moving forward with that, have that be a priority if we are going to have.
Absolutely, Commissioner, and that is consistent with your direction, as Charlotte Ashcraft mentioned as well. All of our new builds, we have charging stations at the Forensic Science Center and at the new Corrections Center, and of course we'll have in the Child Care Center, and we'll continue to look at in the interim if we are able to add a charging station where the Sally Port currently is.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
So we, as a county, we have had, and I know we've had a policy, and it's been a practice for quite a while now, that we defer, I mean, going back to, we've had conversations going back to, I mean, CNG and.
1999.
Yeah, it's been a while since, I mean, no offense, but predating my colleagues, both of my colleagues, with my previous colleagues. And so these are purchases that we've made for quite some time. And so it is great that we continue to have these conversations. And by the way, the technology, the types of vehicles that we're buying today are much better than the types of vehicles that we were buying when I first became a county commissioner. And so the sheriff's department doesn't doesn't object to the types of vehicles that we buy today like they used to. And I know that there's a lot of excitement. If I'm not mistaken, the F1, is it an F-150 that we have, the pickup? People are excited to take it out of the pool. It gets, I mean, people get pretty geeked about their ability to drive that thing when it's time. So there's a lot of, it's not the same as when we first started buying these vehicles, and when we first began growing our fleet years back, and so it's not, you know, I saw a bumper sticker just in the last couple of weeks that said something like, "Cool Prius said no one ever," and it's not the same these days. Electric vehicles are a whole different animal today than they were in 10 years ago when we were buying more, and when we were buying alternative fuel vehicles and hybrid vehicles, and so as Charlotte indicated, you know, what do we have now, 44?
Yeah, we have 44 hybrids.
44 hybrid vehicles, and so it's something that has been a policy of this board for some time, and so moving, now actively moving to electric vehicles is certainly our desire and our policy, and so it's just a matter of being able to get it done, and now also moving to installing charging stations wherever we possibly can and when we can, and not only for our, you know, for our use, but we have employees who drive electric vehicles and need to be able to charge while they're at work, and so good conversation. I appreciate you raising it this morning, Commissioner.
Yeah, the only thing I'd add to Commissioner O'Grady, and again, I'm actually pretty well versed in this area. I would look at the type of chargers too. It's very important that that they're either DC fast or level 2 chargers, because the type of use that we'll have will be intermittent, meaning that they're going to want to charge fast. And the standard charger that you see over on Fulton or whatever, I think that's called Mound, or you see over in the Short North, those are what they call drip chargers. Take you forever to get even 10 miles on those chargers, so they don't really work. That's not the practical way to do it. So as you get into it, as Commissioner O'Grady indicated, the technology is changing even as we speak. And I think just being ahead of the curve, particularly on all electric vehicles, not just the hybrids, being on all as the technology advances, we really should try to get ahead both infrastructure-wise, because everybody's now moving to get that, and so it's going to be harder to get them as the manufacturers sort of change over their manufacturing facilities into more, you know, all electric. Until that happens and it's really getting going, and then you got to think of the lithium and cobalt that's so hard to get and expensive to get. There's just going to be a little bit of getting ahead of it is crucial, and I just want to encourage that from an infrastructure standpoint.
Definitely. The chargers that we have now are level 2, and one of the ones we want to install is a level 3, which is the higher speed. Because of the lightning, it charges better on a level 3. So.
And I would just add too, again, as you dig into this, it's all about the wattage, because you can get level 2 or level 3 and get low wattage. And so there are level 2s all over Columbus, but they're low watt. They're 5 kilowatt chargers, which that's stripped. So a level 2 now can go up to 50 kilowatts. DC fast is 50 and higher. And so you really want those. It's a lot of electric coming through there, but it works for the hour charge, you know, or that takes if you just go with that lower wattage, it'll take you 10 hours to charge on that. So it's so important to dig into this, and I've personally invested a lot in this world, so I just know, you know, kind of the issues that many cities and counties are running into, because they're buying that, you know, 5 kilowatt, you know, they think it's level 2, but it's the wattage that, you know, goes in. The connector is important, but the wattage is crucial to what it is, and they get stuck with that, and then they're like, well, we can't get the cars going because they're out of electric. Then they got to sit overnight in that sometimes doesn't work out. So anyways, sounds like you're on it. I'm really grateful. I'm excited about that. Can't wait to see the commissioner's electric car.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And Commissioners, we will follow up both with Director Ashcraft and also Darla Reardon in Public Facilities Management and make sure that we've got to your point, Commissioner, the right chargers in the right places.
Yeah, keep me in tune. I'd love to be
We'd love
engaged
to
in
follow up with you
conversation.
directly,
Yep.
yes, thank you.
Definitely. Thank you.
All right, if there are no additional comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 83723.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 83723 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Charlotte. Job and Family Services?
Resolution number 83823. Resolution approving subaward agreements with multiple community agencies for Franklin County out-of-school time youth programs in the amount of $9,316,858.04.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Administration. Vivian Turner, Chief Administrator. This April, our agency released a request for proposals for innovative out-of-school time youth programming that covered both traditional, after-school, and summer camp programming. In addition to focusing on academic enrichment and safe, nurturing environments, the program also fosters social-emotional outcomes, including increased self-confidence and self-esteem, promoting positive behavior, improved communication skills, and an enhanced ability to effectively interact with peers and adults. Programs were also required to provide a nutritious lunch and or snack, encompass physical activity, and encourage parent engagement. The after-school programs will coincide with the academic school year and serve approximately 1,878 youth, while operating Monday through Friday for an average of 15 hours per week from September of 2023 through May of 2024. For summer learning programs, approximately 1,589 youth will be served and the programs will operate Monday through Friday for a minimum of 6 hours per day for a period of 8 weeks, beginning in June and ending in August of 2024. This resolution represents 24 of the 28 community organizations that were recommended for an award. This resolution also aligns with our Rise Together Blueprint, Goal number 11, and pending any questions, we request your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 838-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 83823 has been adopted. Resolution number 84523. Resolution approving a subaward agreement with the Columbus Urban League for a Franklin County out-of-school time youth program in the amount of $400,000.
Commissioners, the Urban League is another one of the community organizations recommended for funding following this year's competitive RFP process. The Urban League's program will adhere to the same requirements, including curriculum centered on mental health and wellness, artistic expression, cultural awareness, and career interest and exploration. The Urban League will serve approximately 128 youth year-round in both the after-school program, after-school, and summer camp programs. Again, the after-school will operate Monday through Friday for an average of 15 hours, and the summer camps will operate for 6 hours for 8 weeks during the summertime period. This resolution also aligns with our Rise Together Blueprint Goal number 11, and pending any questions, we request your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 845-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Abstain.
Resolution number 84523 has been adopted with Commissioner Boyce's noted abstention.
Thank you, Commissioners.
All right, Justice Policy and Programs?
Resolution number 83923. Resolution authorizing a subaward agreement with UNIC Foundation for the implementation of a new American Adult Diversionary Reentry Program under the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 in the amount of $250,000.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Administration. Rochelle Pride, Director for the Office of Justice Policy and Programs. This resolution authorizes the County Administrator to approve and execute the following subaward under the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021. It is with UNIC Foundation, a New American Adult Diversionary and Reentry Program. UNIC Foundation will provide comprehensive, culturally responsive programming for new American immigrant refugee communities in Franklin County with a focus on reducing incarceration from a diversionary route and recidivism from a reentry route. The program will be implemented in both the Franklin County Correctional Centers and the Franklin County Specialized Court Dockets, including the Mental Health Court, known as RISE, and the Drug Court, known as TIES. The program seeks to address the unique challenges that new American residents face in navigating reentry upon their release from incarceration, while simultaneously increasing access to the needed recovery and reintegration support, and by bridging cultural divides and social services gaps. Services to be provided include comprehensive case management and reentry planning, individual counseling, substance use and addiction treatment, recovery housing, and linkage to workforce training, education, and employment services. These services will ensure residents have access to safe, sober, and stable environments as they work through addressing the emotional and psychological impacts of incarceration, immigration-related trauma, and substance use disorder. Today, I do have with me our guest, Mr. Hana Duale, who is the director of UNIC Foundation. I do want to give him an opportunity to share a few words here shortly regarding this fabulous innovation. The accompanying purchase order in the amount of $40,000 reflects the portion of the award that we anticipate will be liquidated in calendar year 2023. This resolution does support goal number 9 of our blueprint, specifically focusing on reducing the overall incidence of racial disparities and improving the overall social determinants of health of our new American residents. So without further ado, Mr. Hana.
Good morning to you all. Director Pride, you pretty much taken my speech there. So thank you. But what I want to do is I want to first of all thank you all for inviting me to be here, to be able to share some background on UNIC, not necessarily what you funded, but just to give you a historical background of who I am and what UNIC stands for. So if you can give me a few minutes of your time, really appreciate it. Once again, I want to thank the commissioners, Commissioner Boyce, Commissioner Crawley, Commissioner O'Grady, and the rest of the administrators for the county. My name is Dr. Hana Duale. I'm one of the founders of UNIC Foundation. UNIC is an acronym for United in Good, spelled in Somali. The organization was founded 5 years ago, 2019, and the focus really began in supporting young adults who were not college bound, in training them and educating them in digital skills. This was a program that I did part-time as I was heavily involved in the healthcare space as well as the technology space. And this was my way of giving back to the community. That program evolved very rapidly, and through the success we achieved. And then we were graciously invited by the former director of OJJP, Mr. Michael Daniels, to provide similar programming at the County Juvenile Detention Center. That program took place during the middle of COVID. It was a success. We were very gracious. Again, through that success, our recognition continued to grow at the county level. We were invited to a number of events, including the National Reentry Week back in 2021, where I led a segment on new Americans and the criminal justice system. Through that event, we were recognized, and there was an outreach made to us by the the Department of Justice and Correctional, or ODRC. They reached out to us and they said, would you be interested in expanding your program to the adult population? So since November 2021, we've been providing in-prison services for the adult population at ODRC. And since then, we have continued to grow the program. We have continued to add services, including transitional housing, behavioral health. And this is really a testament to the community we have invested in, but also it aligns with what earlier on Commissioner Boyce said in terms of getting ahead of the curve. The New American Immigrant and Refugee community is a large and a growing community, but we are seeing some of the challenges that the established communities face as it relates to incarceration, justice involvement, behavioral health, and and housing situation. So this is a community and the county's investment to get ahead of the curve. So we definitely appreciate this funding. We look forward to continue to grow our programming and hopefully get to know each other a little bit better. So without further ado, if there's any questions, feel free to ask. Thank you.
there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 83923.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 83923 has been adopted. Resolution number 84023. Resolution authorizing the Franklin County Administrator to sign an award and acceptance form in receipt of an FY 2024 Victims of Crime Act grant from the Ohio Attorney General's Office in the amount of $107,260.64.
In alignment with directives from the U.S. Department of Justice, Office of Justice Programs, Office for Victims of Crime, grant funds will be used to support victim assistance and compensation programs such as those which benefit by providing training for professionals to work with victims and developing projects to enhance victims' rights and services by undertaking public education and awareness of activities on behalf of crime victims. Further, these funds will be a support to salary, benefits, and other administrative and operational costs of our court-appointed special advocates of Franklin County, allowing them to provide services to crime victims and witnesses in Franklin County as well. This resolution will also authorize the county administrator to sign an award and acceptance form in the receipt of these funds. It also provides authorization to execute administrative documents and to file those documents and reports required by the award. This resolution of VOCA funds does align with our goals 8, 9, 11, and 12 of our Rise Together blueprint, and pending any questions, we would seek your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 840-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 84023 has been adopted. Resolution number 84123. Resolution authorizing the Franklin County Administrator to sign all acceptance documents and waivers related to the receipt of Franklin County's FY 2022 Title II Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention Act formula and planning grants from the Ohio Department of Youth Services in the amount of $245,000.
Also in alignment with those directives from the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention and the Ohio Department of Youth Services, these grant funds will be used to develop and/or enhance Franklin County programs, services, and system improvement activities that reduce the likelihood that youths engage in delinquent behaviors that lead to arrest or contact with the juvenile justice system. Services will focus on reducing risk factors and enhancing proactive and protective factors in schools, communities, and through family systems. The Franklin County Office of Justice Policy and Programs intends to release a competitive grant solicitation for local organizations to apply for funding through the Formula Grant Award. All sub-grant and agreements will be brought forth to the Board of Commissioners for approval at that time. This resolution does support goals 11 and 12 of our Rise Together blueprint for reducing poverty, and by ensuring that all young people are on track for long-term success by increasing the number of students at or near the poverty level, experiencing those academic deficits, and moving them towards success. Pending any questions, we would seek your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 841-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 84123 has been adopted. Resolution number 84223. Resolution authorizing the county administrator to accept the FY 2023 Justice Assistance Grant Award to Franklin County and to enter into a memorandum of understanding with the cities of Columbus, Reynoldsburg, and Whitehall, confirming an agreed-upon funding plan to sign all certification and assurance documents related to the grant program.
The FY 2023 Justice Assistant Grant Program authorizes funding directly to local jurisdictions for criminal justice initiatives and is determined by a formula measuring population size to Part 1 felony crimes. Franklin County and the cities of Columbus, Reynoldsburg, and Whitehall were each awarded funds and established as disparate by the U.S. Attorney's Office, and therefore are required to enter into a joint funding agreement for the total amount of $579,555 in order to move forward with the award acceptance process. OJPP has convened with the cities of Columbus, Reynoldsburg, and Whitehall to establish this agreed-upon funding plan and memorialize the requested MOU. Franklin County OJPP published the proposed application and funding plan on the public-facing webpage of the office through September 1st to September 30th to satisfy the public review period that is required. The proposed funding agreement allocates funding in the amount of $17,422 to Whitehall Public Safety, $180,000 to Columbus Public Safety, $13,646 to the Pretrial Probation and DV CAP program, another $150,000 to the Franklin County Public Safety Initiatives and establishment of a tap-in center, and the gun violence prevention initiatives. The remaining balances are focusing on pre- and post-release reentry initiatives, and we also reserve a portion for emerging trends and conditions. This award has actually reflects an approximate 11% increase from the fiscal year 2022 budget. And pending any questions regarding these allocations, we would seek your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 84223.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce. Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 84223 has been adopted.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Sanitary engineer.
Resolution number 84323, resolution authorizing a water pollution control loan fund application to the Ohio Environmental Protection Agency and the Ohio Water Development Authority for the construction phase of the Gladys Ina Sanitary Sewer Improvement Project.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Ryan Stowe with the Department of Sanitary Engineering. Sanitary Engineering is requesting approval to submit a water pollution control loan fund application to the Ohio EPA and the Ohio Water Development Authority for funding of the construction phase of the Gladys Ina Sanitary Sewer Improvement Project. This project involves the construction of approximately 3,000 linear feet of sanitary sewer mains within Ina Avenue and Gladys Road in the county's Sanitary District 4 service area located in Prairie Township. The project has been included on the final intended projects list as issued by the Ohio EPA back in January of this year. The Department of Sanitary Engineering is requesting $485,574.50 to be made available from the Water Pollution Control Loan Fund. The Ohio EPA has indicated a willingness to provide the requested funding for a period of 20 years at the current standard interest rate of 2.7%. This will equate to a total debt service obligation of $631,614.56 and a semi-annual repayment of $31,580.74. This resolution will also allow the county administrator to submit a water pollution control loan fund application to the Ohio EPA for the construction phase of the capital improvement project and to sign all documents promulgated thereafter in reference to this request for financial assistance. This resolution also identifies the source for the loan repayment, which will be the sewer fund. Pending any questions or comments, I respectfully request the passage of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 843-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 84323 has been adopted.
Thank you.
The Department of Purchasing. Sorry.
Resolution number 84423, resolution approving purchases for various Franklin County agencies in the amount of $5,630,900.96.
Good morning, Commissioners. Megan Perry Balanier, Director of Purchasing. Joining me this morning is Tamika Bumper, Economic Equity Administrator for the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. This resolution requests your approval of 88 purchase orders for which the county auditor has pre-certified available funding. Tamika has prepared the supplier diversity data for you today. Good morning, Tamika.
Good morning. 9 of the purchase orders being presented today are being awarded to small and medium businesses, totaling $41,269.70. 1% is being awarded to minority-owned businesses, with another 1% to small businesses, and 7% to women-owned businesses. Once these are approved, 5 agencies have provided equitable and inclusive opportunities to small businesses this week. These agencies are Clerk of Court, Common Pleas Court, Domestic Relations and Juvenile Court, Job and Family Services, and the Sheriff's Office. Pending any questions, we request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 844-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 84423 has been adopted.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
And the Board of Commissioners.
Resolution number 81123, resolution authorizing non-general fund appropriation adjustments for the provision and maintenance of zoological park services and facilities.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kenneth Wilson, County Administrator. I'm recommending a continuance of the postponement on this resolution until November 28th.
Okay.
Need a motion?
No, I was getting ready to make, I thought he was getting ready to make a comment. If there are no comments or questions, move to postpone Resolution 811-23 to November 28th.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 811-23 has been postponed to November 28th, 2023.
Are there any journalizations?
Yes, we have one. Case number ANX-42-23, a municipal annexation petition, ANX-42-23, was filed with the Franklin County Economic Development and Planning Department on October 20th, 2023. The petition is requesting to annex 5.633 acres from Washington Township to the city of Columbus. The petition will be considered by the Board of Commissioners on November 7th, 2023. The site is public right-of-way of Hayden Run Boulevard and Avery Road.
Okay.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Yeah, please, really quick. I just wanted to, for those who are watching and some of you who may have friends and neighbors in the audience, Franklin County is hiring. We have lots of job opportunities, so I would ask our neighbors and residents that are watching to please go to the Commissioner's website, commissioners.franklincountyohio.gov. There are so many wonderful opportunities for all of our agencies, not just our HHS agencies. There's so many opportunities across the board. We welcome you. If you are looking for an opportunity, please consider Franklin County first.
Hey, and I'll just add, thank you for doing that. I have an opening in my office too, so want to encourage folks to apply for that. But also, if the administration can produce posts for the commissioners to post on our social media and just kind of push it out there in our networks. I mean, I'm sure we all three get people looking for jobs all the time, and we just want to be able to easily direct them to the right location. So maybe something that we can easily post or share or text somebody might be helpful to kind of use our networks.
All right, well, happy Halloween to everyone. Be safe this evening while you're trick-or-treating.
Go to John
Also-
O'Grady's house. I'm sure
Yeah,
he has
come-
the best candy in the city.
I do. And you can
He
also-
buys the top-notch candy. I mean, like, he don't mess with that sales stuff. He
do.
buys like, and then he brings the leftovers in, and it lasts the whole county for the rest of the year. So yeah,
Come to my office for candy.
yeah, he doesn't play.
But I also would like to wish my daughter Liz a happy birthday today.
Oh, that's so nice.
She is on a work trip right now. She's not home, and so wish her a happy birthday.
All
Good
right.
for her.
All right.
How old is she?
27.
So she is what's that? A Sagittarius, Scorpio.
Scorpio season.
Oh,
Better
okay.
you guys than me. I don't pay attention to this.
I don't either.
It's
so
Scorpio season.
All I know is mine.
Well, yeah, if you weren't a Scorpio, if you're not, I guess.
So I take
you
it you're a
wouldn't need to-
Scorpio.
I am.
When's your
I am.
birthday?
I am a Scorpio.
What a line down
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that adds up.
Chris is a Scorpio.
Yeah.